Okay, testing. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Can chat hear me? If there's anyone in chat.
Wait, let me turn on my speakers.
Does the thing actually change when I do it? Hello?
Oh! Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my god, that's so epic. Okay.
But it's a bit like it lags behind by a few seconds.
That should be
But
fine.
that's okay, yeah.
Should be fine. Okay. Yeah, we'll wait for like maybe 4 more minutes. If no one else shows up, I'm just gonna pretend this is a lecture, pre-recorded lecture, and just read through the slides.
Okay.
In the meanwhile, this is. Can you see when I flip between the?
Yes.
Okay.
I can, yeah.
Perfect. My expensive mic has finally come into use, other than shouting on Valorant.
Yes.
That's all you need. Okie dokie. Wonder if anyone else is gonna be here. What is chat room?
Oh, I'm doing the opposite.
Wheel tablet. I think this will work for me to plug it onto the big screen as well, so you guys can actually see, but I'm not sure how that one works. Never mind, it's a expensive enough laptop to have HDMI. Evidently. Wow.
Lol.
Oh my god, you
Why
arrived!
do you look so British?
I am British.
Okay. I got the stream running. It's now streamed. I just gotta figure out how to put this on.
Oh yeah, I need to finish. I just remembered I need to do game trip ban or something like this.
Hooked. I wonder how you turn these things on. There's gotta be a way. Technical issues. I love it. I should become an IT specialist.
Wow.
Wow, it's amazing. Okay. I'm pretty sure instead of using slides, slides, you can just go to Google and watch the stream.
Yeah, but it's a bit.
It'll be a bit delayed. I think it'll be fine. Don't sign in. Got it. YouTube.com. Anime USW. What is this? Freaky odd. Okay, so hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Term 2 with Ibi Art Academy. And
Yay!
chat, are we excited? I can say chat unironically now. It's not a people can't kill me for it. Yippee! Okay, so today we're going to be going through how to draw food. And for people joining us for the first time, we are now online. So if you aren't ever bothered to come on campus, which I totally understand, you can watch Ibi Art Academy from the comfort of your own home. And just like your pre-recorded lectures, you can watch it on 2 times speed if you're not bothered to come in during the normal times. The slides will also be uploaded, and we are also looking into creating a new feedback thread in the AUNSW server for you to get feedback on your drawings at any time possible. Just scan the QR code above to have a look at our YouTube channel, and the link is also down below. I'll leave that there for a couple of minutes. I wonder if there is actually a chat that I can see. There is a chat. Hello, chat. Oh my god. That's spectacular. Okay, so, and if you happen to be here either in person or online, I would like to ask you to sign the attendance form, if that's possible. Just scan the QR code and fill in your funky little details. I don't think there's... How many chatters do we have? Can you guys hear me? Am I sounding like a normal human being, hopefully?
Wait, there's actually people in the chat.
There might be.
Type how many watches?
It says there's 2 concurrent watches.
Yo.
Yo.
One of them might be me, but
Wait, it's that one. That one. It's over. It's over. It's fine. This is a trial experiment. We should kidnap more members to show up to our events so we get more funding. Daniel, have you signed the attendance form?
That's true.
Oh,
I
so
predate this.
I'll sign it in my own time because I made the form. Ha 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 ha. My back hurts.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting old. Oh, that's a 10-20. 20 is not old, they say. Okay, hopefully everyone's scanned the QR code, and I will move on to the actual content. So, credit to our lovely subcom, Angelina, today. We have a guide on how to draw macarons. So, as you can see here, macarons are not too complicated compared to other food items. All you have to really do is have a simplified outline. Make sure the line art is clear so that when you do the colors, it comes out properly. Pick your base colors. Try to have something, normal macaron colored. Slightly pastel, not too vibrant, but also not too desaturated. Once you've done that, instead of looking for a darker color to do your shading, you should instead look for slightly more saturated colors. So this helps your dark parts of the macaron that doesn't have as much light stay brighter. Well, sorry, not brighter, more colorful and more saturated to make it look still more like food. Yeah, so as the notes say here, they should be quote unquote brighter. It just means they need to be more saturated. And also, you should have a little bit of light on the edges as well. Don't just fully go from light to dark. There's also a bit of like color correction. Hello!
Who's this?
Hello. Actual member attendance. It's crazy. Oh, since you're here, could you sign the attendance form when it shows up on there?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, thank you. Sweet. All right. So with macarons as well, you kind of want like with the cartoony art style, you want a slightly thicker outline so that it still has that kind of, how do I call it? It's got that energy to it. Macaron aura, for lack of a better term. And with the thicker outline, don't keep it purely black because that makes it look kind of ugly. So what you can do is have a darker, so for the red macaron in this, or pink macaron in this case, you can have like a dark red as the outline. You can give the layer a protect alpha if you're drawing digitally and just color over it. Same with like the other colors, just find whatever base colors you have, make it really dark, and it just makes the macaron blend nicer into the background. So what's next? Tiramisu, yes. Same thing with the, this is also by Angelina, done with watercolor style. This is pretty much only applicable if you do like watercolor or digital art. So if you're like one of the pencil and like pen guys, unfortunate. I think some of it still applies. Anyways, so as usual, you'd start off with the outlines. In this case, Angelina's art style is very like moe, so a thicker line art would serve quite well. And when, just as an extra side on, when you're drawing like cakes or stuff that comes on a plate, you want to make sure the perspective of the food also matches with the perspective of the plate, because if one of them looks off and they kind of like cross into each other, it looks really weird. A good thing you can do is just like instead of drawing like a circle plate, because perspective's harder on circles, draw it as like a square and then have the center points of each line as the edges of the circle, and then you can draw the circle from there, and then you can put the shape of the food on top. So that's just a good starting point to make sure that your perspective looks fine. And then step 2 here is just to give everything a cleaner outline. This one you can make slightly darker if you're doing watercolor. And number 3 is same as before. Start off with lighter colors, just like the base, whatever the base is. And then on step 4, same thing, darker, more saturated colors. Don't just go straight down into the black section because it's going to look grey and bland and depressing, and it's going to look like British food.
My favorite.
Your favorite? British food, look, it may look not very colourful, but I think, actually no, it doesn't taste good. I'm sorry. I can't lie. Yeah, so once you have the darker colours, you can just put them on like in general patches. Same thing with drawing pretty much anything else. You want to have the shadows and the lights in blocks instead of trying to shade on like procedurally, if you know what I mean. Because that's how it also goes for pretty much everything else. You want like blocks of shadow. And on step 5, I don't know how you do it in real life. I don't do watercolor, but you can blend this with whatever blending brush you have. And in step 6, just add a little bit of highlights, change the outline color as usual, and there you go, you have tiramisu. Any questions from the general public from chat or chat?
This is really like a question about we got someone in the AUMSW chat saying that they can't really hear you.
They can't really hear me? Okay. I will turn up the volume then. Probably because this is so far away. Properties. Oh, they're talking on general chat, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Chat once more. Once more. Are we in general? Okay. Do I sound like I'm talking more now? 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Hopefully it sounds like I'm louder. Don't mind the lighter. I'm not gonna light it. I'm not gonna light it. Safety reasons. It just sounds good.
Yeah, we already got enough fire in here.
Okay. Simple as that. I should donate $2 to charity every time I say a shitty pun on stream. Maybe I should announce the event earlier.
Which day we are here?
I did.
Oh, yeah, let's see.
Check chat.
Oh, there's 5 watching.
5 watching? Amazing. This is like
Incredible.
So you're
Yes.
also watching.
I'm one. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Chat.
So we got two actual viewers. Oh my god! Hello.
Why? Say
Ethan
hello to
Wise.
chat.
What?
Say hi to chat.
Hello chat, that's the camera?
It's just a screen.
Oh,
Okay. What was that?
pedestrian keychain.
Pedestrian keychain. Okay. Next, hands in the kitchen. So this is more of a hands thing, but a lot of artists will realize that drawing hands is pretty hard. Oh, is it? It's not changing? Stream is not changing? Oh, just has a delay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with drawing hands, standard, like, how do I say it? Procedure applies. You want to have the, what do you call it? Not finger part of your hand, like the palms. Yeah, the not finger part. Yeah, you want to draw that first. The trapezium shape, and then you will consider where like all the joints are coming out of. In this case, because Angelina is quite good at drawing hands, she like skips out on a bit of the details. But yeah, these are just some images for reference on like common poses that you'd have on what you'd be doing in kitchens. Another thing is a lot of the times you won't actually see the entirety of your other fingers in whatever shot you're doing. So for example, like the one holding the ball, it's just like you can only see 3 fingers. I prefer those poses because I have to draw less fingers and that saves me a lot of hassle. But yeah, that's hands in the kitchen. Knives and forks. I actually really went all in on this. So with knives and forks, metallic reflections are the name of the game. Outlines and the base color doesn't matter too much. As long as they're like roughly gray, dark, and black. It's more of a study in lighting and values and whatever. I won't get too fancy here, but
Refer to Ibi Art Academy from last term.
refer to Ivy. Which one? Which week?
I forget which week, but it's probably the weapons week.
The weapons week?
Accessories or whatever. No.
And I think I also did something for the close week with that robot character. I might like done a bit of like metal rendering stuff on there too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there was that one. Yes,
Mm.
I'm getting a lot of dimensional. Yeah. Knives and forks. One thing, like little things to keep in mind is the curvature of things. So if you consider where the light is coming from, in this case, it comes from the top. So where the letter K is, it would be shining downwards towards the spoon. Things that are relatively important is the joint between like the handle and the actual curved part. You'll notice there's like quite a sharp cutoff here. Just make that dark and then kind of blend it in towards the end. The main highlight though, yeah, that's $2 to charity, is this chunk. Strongest part of your highlight should be towards the, it shows up stronger in part 4. The main highlights should be on the base of the spoon. So if you'd imagine this is like a crater, this part has the tip of the spoon still has lighting because that's just how light bounces off the metal. You're still going to get quite a bit of light on the top, so don't just make it like complete a gradient. But the strongest light should be around the joint between, what do you call it? The joint between the handle and the actual spoon. Forks are pretty much the same. It's just they have like prongs instead of one collective item. So you can get away with less shading. And yeah, in the end, you want to have just like pure white on some of the edges to make them really, to make the metal really shine. If you feel like your metal's not contrasting enough, try having like darker darks in your shadows. That makes the white stand out more. Don't just try to have maximum value whites, because yes, it is as bright as it goes, but your highlights are only as bright as your darks are dark. Right, and liquids in the glass. This one's, what do I say? Liquid physics? What's the word? Fluid dynamics. I just wanted to say that. Liquid physics. Fluid dynamics sounds like more funny.
Yeah, Eng 2500.
Eng 2500. I'm not an engineering student, I'm a poser. Yeah. Here you can observe that you want to draw the surface of the liquid first. This is just like the typical like swirling the wine in the wine glass. But if you want to draw like someone spilling it or someone pouring it, consider like what the surface looks like first. The rest of the liquids usually flow on after, because you, whatever, I can't English, I give up. But yeah, so draw the surface first, and then the rest of the liquid will fill into the shape of their container. For especially glass containers, leave a gap between the liquid and the glass because that reflects the actual glass. On top of that, you can also change the thickness of whatever container you have just by changing the distance between the liquid and the glass. If you want to go really advanced with the shading, you can also consider how like the lighting bounces off the glass through the liquid, but it's really complex. If you want, you can do some practice attempts and put it in the feedback channel when we create the channel, and we can test out the feedback system. Yeah, and here's just more side content that we've got from online, resourced from Yuanyui Chan. I'm pronouncing it right, hopefully. But yeah, these are just more common like hand poses and references for your own use. Take a screenshot if you feel like. The slides are up online anyways. Take a moment to soak it all in. Any mentions from chat? Chat. Can't believe I'm calling them chat again.
Chat is cool.
Chat, is this real? Oh my god. Snowmaru in chat. Hello. What else? Okay. Next. So thank you to Catherine for more references. I'll wait for it to show up after the delay. Yeah, it's got like a 15 second delay. But yeah, okay. Making fruit look kind of jewel-like. So I think that's a really good strawberry. So
Yo, can we talk about the art of glazing?
the art of glazing. God. I'll pretend I didn't hear that from Daniel. So, step 1. Blend in the shadow tones on top of the flat color. Layer lightly with pressure opacity brush. I actually have dementia. I forget what I'm going to say every 5 seconds. Step 2. Contour the outer edges and include ambient lighting if there are objects surrounding it. Step 3. Add some glistening highlights, hard brush in a curved shape to imply seeds, less opacity for areas less directly in the light. And some extra tips are just that the food doesn't need to be hyper-realistic. You only need enough rendering to imply what food it is. Remember that utensils and dishes also have light reflected off them as well. Mostly true for metal utensils. If you have if you're putting a strawberry on a spoon, because of how reflected it is, you will have light bouncing up the spoon into the strawberry. You also want to keep in mind what color the background light is and the color of the spoon itself, because a lot of that will show up on the strawberry. For often fruits, you can treat them like jewels, especially if you want them to glow and pop out. Instead of just making them plain and boring, you can really strengthen the saturation and the colorfulness of a fruit by just giving it a lot of ambient lighting and highlights. What next? Textures and details. These are some examples just from animes because they take forever to draw. I'm not drawing a new one for this. Consider the type of texture for the food you're drawing and what makes up the food. For example, meats often have tissue texture, and if you think about it, meat is just muscle, right? So you want to consider, if you want to have a look at next time you're cooking a steak or whatever, just look at the grain of the meat and how the fat kind of marbles. If you're short on time or if you're kind of lazy, there are textures online for that really save you a bunch of effort. Yeah, different types of textures. Smooth and clean lines are also very important. Very messy line art often detracts from food because the appeal point of food, I think, in anime and manga is the color and the overall shape. And if your line art's too messy, it's hard to focus on the deliciousness of food. And yeah, in this case, highlights are very important in food. Plain looking food is British food. It's gray, it's boring, it's just you've seen it and you might have tasted it. My condolences to you if that's the case. But good food is colorful. It makes it look appealing. Yeah, another way you can cheat on the texture is overlaying paper texture or a grain brush. Sometimes I know people who straight up take photos of meat online and just overlay it to their drawings, or even textures just from random things around you. They just give it that extra touch of realism. What else? Yes, color and contrast. Simplified color palette. Very rarely would you actually see food that has the entire color spectrum. Meat really only has like red and orange. Maybe like, actually, if it's yellow, it's probably rotten. So
Yeah, probably like more like purples in that sort of thing.
purples, yes. So like the insides of the steak is like pretty red, outside is like brownish. Really, you don't need a lot of deviation from that. If your food starts looking like the rainbow, I think someone's put like the Sonic curry food dye on it. So oil spill. Yeah, I would like to not be eating industrial oil, so that'd be great. And as always, the sources are on these slides. And more examples from shows. I'm sure you guys have seen the amazing Dungeon Meshi. Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty sure usually metallic food textures don't apply. It's just that in this case there's the coin thing. But yeah, another thing is if you got hot food, don't forget to like just use the airbrush to add some steam on top of it. It makes it look like it's really freshly made. Same thing with jars. Highlights are really important. Especially if it's made of glass, you just want like a really strong part that's just like white. And keep in mind the thickness between the contents and the container. This reinforces like how thick the container is and its presence in the shot. It also helps for you to use references. I know with a lot of artists, they are scared to use references because they think it's cheating, I'm just copying from someone else. No. Just don't be afraid to use references. Take photos of whatever, use photos from online. You're not going to end up copying one for one. As long as you're just taking in how the lighting looks in a certain image or a real life item and bring that into the artwork, I think that can be really beneficial to how your artworks end up looking. Alternatively, if you want to go simple, with cartoony, like even more cartoony desserts, keep the shape simple. You don't need to have like really intricate and detailed bumps and ridges on every single one of your fruits. Like just draw a circle for cakes, just draw a triangle for like a steak. You can just do like Ovaltine shaped. Yeah, and even with like the smaller details inside of shapes, you can kind of cut them up into even smaller regular shapes like triangles, squares. Though usually if you go past a 5-sided shape, you might as well just not. Usually pentagon is the maximum complexity for a cartoonish artwork if you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, do whatever you want. I can't stop you. And close-ups versus far shots of food. I think everyone's here watched some sort of Ghibli film, right? Like Spirited Away or Hood Classics. Huh? Boy and the Heron, Grave with the Fireflies. Okay, no, that doesn't apply for the food section. But okay. So with food that's really far away, you don't need as much highlights. Just only like on the biggest chunks or the biggest surface that's exposed to lighting. That's where you need the highlights. Apart from that, keep it flat because going too detailed into singular items is not really worth it. Especially when you can just have a close-up shot of the food that actually has all the detail. Yeah. So for far away shots, you want to look at the shape of the food and try to also consider not having things overlap. A mistake sometimes people make when they have a lot of things in one shot is having like lines that cut into each other or things that cover important parts of other items. So for example, you can see that the fish here, like the big fish here, is its standalone thing. It's nothing important about it is being covered by the food in front of it, and likewise, it's not covering anything important behind it. You don't see like, for example, the steamed bun stack. You wouldn't put that behind the fish because if you only see like the tiny little bit sticking out on the top, you can't really tell what it is. So you want to be able to make sure that the most important aspects of an item is in front and that you can easily identify it and nothing cuts into like how you look at the item. And obviously perspective still applies. Make sure things closer to you is big and make sure that things further away from you are smaller. Yeah. And in general anime fashion, if something is gross, like food-wise, just make it purple. I don't know why they do this. Every time they have that anime character who says, "Oh, I can't cook," and then they cook up something horrendous, it's always purple for some reason. I don't know. Like, would you try purple food?
Grapes.
Grapes? Yeah, it's just like grape curry.
Okay, maybe you deserve to eat that.
Grape curry can't be that bad.
Great color.
Okay, I'll make that recipe. Like, look at that right now. I can make it.
That's not a brag.
No. Okay. Well, whatever. You'll be my first victim. Yeah. Yeah. So more notes. Appetizing food is colorful and brighter. As I said earlier, like boring food is gray. You've seen like poorly made food. It's just like same texture and same color. Good food has a strong contrast between the different colors, and it has a wide range of textures that make it look actually appealing. Like even this curry that's supposed to look like horrible, it looks better than some of the meals I've had on campus. So I'm sorry, man. Yeah, this one doesn't even look that bad. And as is typical with anime, like styled art, you can add effects on the side to make the audience really know if it's supposed to be good or bad. Like the little purple squiggles always lets you know it smells horrible, and the yellow squiggles makes it look. I have no idea what is that. It's like
It's an aura emanating from the.
tentacle aura.
Is this aura?
Is this aura? That looks like a Risk of Rain item. What is it? Like the overcharged?
No, what was it? Molten perforator?
Molten perforator, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for the main content of today. Is there any more questions from, let me check general chat. So kawaii, oh my god. Thank you, chat. Okay, no one said anything in general. Is there a no mic? Let's see anyone there. No. Okay. I think that's about it for the streamed content. The rest of it will just be like, if you come in person, you can socialize the rest of us. But like, if you're just online, I'm sorry. It's the end of the fun. So, but thank you for everyone who came today, including in person and on stream. And we hope to see you next time. And yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking because like since I'm like doing like food this week, this is like really helpful for those who want to do the art contest.
Oh yes, the art competition. Right, we need to shield that. Okay, so if you didn't know, on the official Anime UNSW server, we still have the art competition going on for Ibi and desserts, if announcements would load. That will close on 15th, I think 16th.
Okay.
It will close on the 16th. So you guys still have about 11 days to get your final submissions in. We are sponsored by Seconds Please, and there is a chance for you to get free merchandise. The sign up is free, and there will be a judges vote and a audience's favorite. Okay, I think that will be it for today. Thank you very much for coming. I'm not the beach. I'm not the beach this time. Yay! Bye bye, chat.
Do you get an off?